Hi guys. So tonight's dinner is going to be pasta carbonara. I have this shape pasta. You know what? It's weird. It doesn't say the name of this shape on the bag. I can't find it. Anyway, that shape pasta. Mushrooms. I have grated pecorino romano, bacon, which it's been sitting there, so that's why I'm making carbonara. You use heavy cream, garlic, some butter. I got my water almost coming to a rolling boil so I can start cooking the pasta. This is my version of carbonara because carbonara sometimes has onions in it and then like raw egg that's tempered in at the end, so it has like this glazy look. But I don't do that. I basically make Alfredo and add bacon to it. And then of course mushrooms and peas, and that's my version of carbonara. So that's dinner tonight. So the pasta is cooked and I have it in the colander in the sink, draining. And here's some butter, Kerrygold butter. So yes, people, that Costco haul that I just did, funny, you guys noticed that the butter was salted. And I did actually ask for unsalted butter. And and I actually didn't even think about it or notice it until I read your comment. So that is LOL funny. And I'm not going to return it, but yeah, I ordered the unsalted, which is supposed to be yellow, and they brought me the salted, and I hadn't even noticed it until you guys commented on it. So that was really funny. But this is the Kerrygold because it's right there. I wasn't going to open up an extra stick of my unsalted butter. I got my mushrooms all chopped. I got bacon all chopped. I got my pecorino romano all grated. Here's my garlic, which I'll be adding to the butter first. And heavy cream. So these mushrooms are nice and big, which I definitely want to stuff. Oh my goodness. Look at all my muscles trying to open this. Look at that. I did it. I need a spoon. So I'm going to add some garlic, which, look at that. I mean, this is a big jar and it still has a lot in there. Like it garlicky. There. Put garlic in. Like I said, with carbonara, I basically make Alfredo. And then you add that bacon to it, and that Alfredo just picks up that bacon flavor, and it's so delicious. I know carbonara sometimes, some people add the onions and the egg, but that's just too much. Too many ingredients, too technical for me. I don't need it. I like to keep it simple like this. Because the first time I had carbonara, I was in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, in some restaurant. I think it was a pizza place. I don't remember. But that was the first time I tried carbonara, and that is what I remember. The peas, the cream, the bacon. Actually, it was pancetta, so that's like Italian bacon. That bacon ham flavor, and the mushrooms. So now let's add the bacon. And I like the pre-cooked bacon because a lot of the fat has been taken out of it already because it's already cooked. And we don't eat a lot of bacon. That's why I'm making this, because the bacon's been sitting there. So need to get it gone. So add the bacon. And we're going to add the mushrooms. And the mushrooms wilt down. The last thing is going to be the peas, which are frozen, but once the cream is in there and it's hot, the peas cook in like 10 seconds. No salt needed because of all the pecorino and the bacon. So this is just going to wilt down. Well, cook down, not really wilt. Let's do it like that. There you go. And when that bacon is heated up, that is one of the best cooking smells ever. So let that cook, and then we add the cream. So the mushrooms wilted down. I keep saying wilted, cooked down. And then we're gonna add some cream, about a quart. You could always add more if you're making a large amount of pasta, but I had a quart. This was only half full. So a quart. Let that heat up. And when it's hot, we're gonna add the cheese and the peas and then add the pasta back in. And then dinner's done. And this is a dish that really doesn't need anything else. You got the peas, which are vegetables, and the mushrooms, which are vegetables, and bread and all that. This is such a heavy dish, you don't need any extras. Okay, there. I added about an extra cup. Because that pasta does absorb some of the sauce. Throw that in. There. And like I said, these cook in like 10 seconds. There you go. Oh, I wish you could smell this. Okay. So when that gets hot, because we need it hot, because the pasta probably cooled down quite a bit because it's been sitting in the sink, we add the pasta. Now it's hot. I don't know if you can see the steam. But now it's hot. Okay. Let's get the pasta. Okay, that could be ugly. Could have gotten really ugly. Carbonara everywhere, all over me and the stove. That's it. Now, the hot sauce is going to heat up the pasta. And I can serve dinner, and we can eat. So I noticed, like, on the Food Network, I was watching some videos today and stuff like that, and because Valentine's Day is coming, everything is Italian. I guess spaghetti and meatballs has been become the honorary Valentine's Day dish because of Lady and the Tramp. So cute. There we go. So I'm going to stir it a little more and then serve it up. And there it is, plated up. They're all picking out the mushrooms. Look at that. Look at that.
Horrible kids.
That's dinner tonight. Look how colorful that is. Hey guys. So tonight for dinner, I am making this bruschetta ground chicken. I'm going to make it into meatballs. I get this from Publix, from Mighty Spark. Very, very flavorful. The other flavor they have is Thai. They're both so good. So I'm going to make little meatballs with it, and I'm going to cook them in a cast iron so that they hold their shape. Last time I just tried throwing them in the sauce and they just completely fell apart, which was fine. It still tasted good, but I want to have meatballs this time. And then I'm making some sauce, my crushed fire roasted tomatoes. And basically I use 2 cans of that, onions, garlic. I wish I had fresh basil, but in the middle of the winter I have dried basil, which did come from my garden, so I'm happy with that. And olive oil or avocado oil. So I have avocado oil. So I'm going to get this sauce going. Because it's crushed, it's not a lot of liquid as much as whole tomatoes. A good hour simmering would be fine. I guess you could do it like serve it right away. I don't know. I like it simmering for a little while. I just feel it concentrates the flavors a little more. So, but I did notice with the crushed tomatoes, you do not have to simmer it as long. It still has a lot of flavor. And the fire roasted even more. So let's add the onions. There's always some that stay. There, I got them all in. And we're going to add some garlic. About a clove or two minced. We like garlic a lot in this house. Get that going. Going to add some salt. Sorry. About half a teaspoon. Smells good already. Let that sweat a little bit. I'm trying to do some more quick but flavorful and still, you know, creative and interesting meals during the weekdays where I'm not, you know, spending hours cooking, because it does get, you know, tiresome to do it every single day. As much as I enjoy cooking and I love good food, sometimes I just don't have the time, or, you know, you just don't like the tediousness of it on a day-to-day basis. So, you know, things like this that you can find, I mean, they have Hormel, you know, marinated pork tenderloins and pork loins, and you can find all sorts of pre-marinated meats to cook, so that saves some time as well. And then just, you know, a side and a vegetable. So tonight for dinner, I'm making those chicken meatballs, but I think this time I have a loaf of the Parmesan rosemary bread from Costco in my freezer. You know, you get the 2 loaves, so I just froze one of them. And I'm literally gonna cook some broccoli and serve this with that bread. The boys can slice up the bread and make a sandwich if they want to, more like a sandwich style, or just, oh man, I need 2 hands. Cause yeah, you know, so that they can make it like a sandwich style, or, you know, just dip and eat with the meatballs. And it's literally going to be an easy meal. Cause we do eat a lot of pasta, so sometimes I don't want to have pasta every night, you know. And I'm gonna make some pasta this weekend, cause this weekend is Valentine's Day. That was our dog Rudy. He was we had a boxer. That was his birthday, but he passed away a couple years ago. So let me use 2 hands to pour that in. It's already hot. All right, because it does spit up. See, look at that. I mean, like it's thick already. So even an hour, if you don't have time, a couple of minutes, 15 minutes to get it all hot, you probably could still serve it and it'll be good. But of course, you simmer it a little longer, all the flavors meld together, and it gets thicker. Okay, so and then the only other thing I like to add is basil. Fresh is best, but I have dried. I love basil. The smell of summer. Okay. And then that's it. So I'm going to halfway cover this and let it simmer. Put it on low. That's it. And it's 2:38, so around 5, maybe 4:45. I'll start the meatballs, start the broccoli, and we'll be eating by 5:30. That's dinner tonight. So I'm sauteing some broccoli and green beans that I micro-steamed first because we don't like them too crunchy. And I have them sauteing in some avocado oil, and I put this lemon pepper seasoning blend, which I'm almost out of, and this garlic stuff that I got from the farmer's market. Actually, it's just garlic. And the boys love it. It's so exciting when the boys love their vegetables. So the meatballs are done, and I have them in the sauce. And then my bread is wrapped and in the oven. Yum. And there it is, plated up. I did half my plate vegetables, and then I put some mozzarella cheese out to put on top of the chicken meatballs, so it's kind of like chicken parm. And then the bread is out with butter, and that's dinner tonight. Hey guys, so tonight for dinner, I am going to make, and I'll decide at the last minute. I think I'm going to ask the guys, but I was going to make chicken frenchies, but then I was thinking if I add cream and Italian seasoning to the sauce, now it's, oh, and some sun-dried tomatoes, now, oh, maybe a little pesto, then it becomes Tuscan chicken. So I'm going to ask them what they want, but I'm going to make it with focaccia. So I use the David Rocco's pizza dough, which I make in my bread machine. So I'm going to do that. And like I said, as I'm cooking the chicken, later on when everyone's home, I'm going to ask them, do you want Tuscan chicken or do you want chicken frenchies? So basically, chicken frenchies is the white wine, the chicken broth, and some lemon juice. But then if you add a little cream, if you add some sun-dried tomatoes, if you add Italian seasoning, now it becomes, like I said, Tuscan chicken. So they have that option. And then I'll make a vegetable. So I have 1.5 cups water, lukewarm water in the machine. 2.5 teaspoons of dry active yeast. I think I said that right. 4 cups of flour. 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, which it's in there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's there. 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And then the last ingredient, here it comes, is 1/2 cup of white wine. I like using Pinot Grigio. So then we're going to put it on dough pasta. And that's it. So I'm starting this at about noon. So it has all day to rise after that, get nice and airy. So there's my focaccia. So after it came out of the bread machine, I spread it out in this pan and I actually just covered it and let it sit there for a couple more hours because we're coming on 4 o'clock, which is around the time I start preparing dinner. And then with my fingers, I put some holes in it. And one thing I learned from watching Giada De Laurentiis and Bobby Flay in Italy, when they made the focaccia, you have to put a lot more oil in the bottom so it could get that crust on the bottom, which is something that I didn't do when I made the sheet pan pizza in this pan, which didn't come out crunchy on the bottom. So I put more oil on the bottom, olive oil. Like I said, I put some holes. And now I'm going to drizzle it with garlic olive oil. Give it some nice flavor. Here's my brush. I'm going to brush it. There we go. And now some salt, my pink Himalayan sea salt. A little on top, just a little. And then I'm going to put some Italian seasoning on top. And then bake it at 450. But I'm not ready to bake it yet because I need to do the chicken. So I cut up all my chicken. I have flour here with some salt and pepper. Gonna mix that up nicely. Then I have my pan getting hot, and I'm gonna add ghee to it. And just dredge the chicken in flour and cook it up until it's brown. I cut these breasts in half. I didn't pound them. They'll finish cooking in the sauce. Little pieces. And then I'll do the rest. So all the chicken is done. And look at the focaccia. So yes, you need more oil. So you get that crunch on the bottom. I just broke it. But you get that crunch on the bottom. And now for the sauce. So we're going to add some garlic and onions. A little bit of salt. Get that going. I'm also going to add some pesto. And a little more. And then I'm going to add, I have these sun-dried tomatoes in some oil. I'm going to try to get them out. There you go. Okay. Then let's deglaze with some white wine. Pinot Grigio. About half cup. Nope. A little more than half. Maybe 3/4 of a cup. And then it cleans the bottom of your pan. All those crunchy bits that got stuck come right up. So let the alcohol cook off a little bit. You know what? Let me use, nope, not that one. A wooden spoon. Really get all that stuff up. There. Then I have some chicken broth here, about 2 cups. Ooh, that didn't mix very well. You know what? That's fine. I don't want a lot of salt. Okay. Maybe I put too much. So this is going to heat up. And then I'm going to add the chicken back in and let it finish cooking. And while that's going on, then I will figure out vegetables. Okay. That's let me raise the heat on that. But I'm going to put a little, I don't want to put it too high. I'm going to put some cream. Doesn't look pretty. It'll all mix up well. There you go. Maybe just a little more. Probably like half cup total. There. The boys like it creamy. Okay. Then I'm going to add the chicken back in so it can finish cooking. Tasty dish with all that sauce, the focaccia. I'll just sop it up. Everyone will have a clean plate after they finish eating, because they'll use the bread to clean the plate. That's a lot of sauce. I probably didn't have to make that much, but it's great on pasta. or even mashed potatoes, or even a baked potato. There. All right, so let that simmer, and then I'll start working on the vegetable. So I haven't done this in a while, and I just realized instead of dirtying another bowl, because I have so many dishes that were done. Michael, grab the lighter. See, look at all those dishes. You do Caesar salad on a board. We haven't done that in a long time. There's the chicken sitting in its sauce, and the focaccia's on the table. Look at that. Caesar salad on a platter. The focaccia I cut into squares for dipping. That's dinner tonight. So it is an easy meal, but the only dish, I mean, look how fancy it is, but the only dish that required the most work was the chicken. The focaccia, I did the dough so much earlier. You know, you do little steps here and there if you're home. And you don't have to, or you could buy store-bought, you know, pizza dough, make it even easier. But this is actually a simple meal, but it looks good. Hey guys, dinner tonight is bourbon chicken. It's Asian, it's Cajun, it's Rasian. So I made this before. This is one of the Spice and Easies from the Savory Spice Shop. These things are so awesome. They're all about maybe $4. Some of them are $5. And it's all the seasoning. It tells you the ingredients that you need. This one, it says cornstarch, soy sauce, and chicken. And it was really good. The boys loved it. Definitely more Asian. I know in the mall there's some, I don't remember the name of the Asian food in the food court that sells it, but they'll sample the bourbon chicken, which is odd. You know, bourbon, you don't think of, you think more Cajun, not Asian, but they sell it and it's really good. So I'm glad I found that, because that's what I'm making tonight. So I cut up a whole bunch of chicken. There's 5 breasts in there, all sliced up. And then you add some cornstarch, and you want to toss it really well. Get it all coated. That might be a little more than it's supposed to. I got my hot pan here. Got some avocado oil. That pan is hot. So, yep, just mix it around. And then you're gonna brown it. And of course, the cornstarch is what thickens the sauce. So let's get this sizzling. Difficulties. Technical difficulties. Yeah. They all get stuck together. Alright, that's good for now. Okay. And 1 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of tamari or soy sauce. And then you add this whole packet of the bourbon chicken spices. Look at the sesame seeds. And then you mix it up, and you just wait for the chicken to be ready. I have some white rice cooking in my ancient rice cooker. And then in another skillet, I'm going to cook up some broccoli, and I have some zucchini. So I'm just going to slice those up and fry them up. And that is dinner tonight. So I sliced up some zucchini, and I'm searing that in some avocado oil. I'll be adding the rest of this lemon pepper blend and some garlic. And then I also found this. You ever do that? You have all these spices and you're like, oh, I forgot. I bought that ages ago. Wild Tree lemon rosemary blend. And I have a full bottle, almost full. So I'm going to sprinkle some of that on there. I don't know if the rosemary goes with the Asian, but who cares? So that's going to go on the vegetables. I do have some broccoli in the micro steamer because the boys don't like the zucchini. So I'm going to also throw some broccoli in there with the same spices. One happy family. Okay, it didn't really get brown. All of the cornstarch basically just stuck to the pan, even though I had oil in it. Look how pretty that looks. That looks good. So now we're going to add the sauce. And that'll loosen up whatever got stuck to the pan. And put a little more water to get all that out. But that cornstarch is just gonna thicken that sauce up. I might, yeah, you know what? I might put a little more water. It smells good already. There it is, plated up. That was a real quick meal, and look how delicious it is, and it's something different. That's dinner tonight. Hi guys, tonight's dinner is going to be pasta with sausage and broccoli rabe. So I have 2 spicy sausages here, 2 spicy sausage links, and I'm going to remove the casings. And then I have 5 sweet Italian sausages. They're still a little frozen, unfortunately. I don't know if I'm going to do all 5. It depends. I'll see how much meat that produces because these are a lot bigger. But I'll remove the casing and cook the sausage without the casing. And then here's broccoli rabe. They also call it rapini. I don't always find it in the stores. It's like a cross between spinach and broccoli. So it definitely has more of a bitter taste to it. You don't have as many of these florets. A lot of leaves. So I'm just going to trim the stems here. Yeah, so excited. I haven't made this in a long time. So that is dinner tonight. Getting that pan hot and getting my water to start boiling. So I used all 5, so there's 7 sausages in here because we do have company. The boys every weekend have a friend over. There's always a friend here or 2. And the water's boiling, so I have my broccoli rabe in here that I'm rinsing out. And then I'm going to put it in the water. And the water needs to be salted. So let me do that. My salt. Some people, I believe, I had heard, some people actually put a little sugar because the rapini, the broccoli rabe, is so bitter that they actually put a little sugar to sweeten it. I did that the first time, but I never noticed the difference, so I don't do that. Let me clean that, and then I'll put it in the water. Look at that. Yeah, so let's blanch it a little bit. Because some of these stalks are really fat. And I know I said it was more like a spinach and broccoli. It's more like kale and broccoli. The leaves are not as tender as spinach. See, so that's already wilting down. So let that boil a little bit. I don't know if that's a good sign. All right. Keep an eye on that fire. So this is cooking down. Then I'm going to add the broccoli. And then pasta. So, like I said, if you don't have broccoli rabe, I've done broccolini. Broccolini works well. There's not as many leaves, but it does work well because it's still has more of a bite than the broccoli itself. It's thinner, it's long, it has a few leaves. This one is more leaves than anything. And then when I take that out, then I'm going to cook the pasta in the same water. Okay, so that's boiling nicely. I don't want it like completely soft. Not too soft. You still want the broccoli to have a little bit of crunch to it. So let's take this out. Ooh. Throw that in there. Last one. Now there's a lot of flavor in that water. The boys don't like broccoli rabe, so it's okay that there's more meat than broccoli. You know what? I do have another stalk of broccoli. I think I'm going to cook it. I want a lot of broccoli rabe. So look at that. It wilts down a lot. I mean, obviously, because it's all leafy pretty much. But that's 2 bunches of broccoli rabe. So that's pretty much done. Pasta's boiling. That's almost done. Dinner's almost done. So I got the pasta in. Now let's just mix it up. Oh, and what I'm going to do for more flavor, I'm going to put some of this garlic oil in there. Give it a nice coating. There we go. Oh. Look at that. Sometimes they like to put some little like red pepper flakes just to give it a little kick. But I'm not going to do that. I like to, John likes it a lot. I'll make the sausage links. I won't take them off the casing, but I'll make the sausage links with the broccoli rabe, and he likes to make a hero out of it. He makes a sandwich with fresh mozzarella or provolone melted on top with some garlic oil. Yep, sausage and broccoli rabe sandwich. Hero. Those are really good. We haven't had those in ages. All right, so I think it needs a little more garlic oil. I didn't add salt. I don't think it needs salt. No, it doesn't need salt. The sausage, I guess, has enough sodium in it and flavor. So that's good. And then, last but not least, pecorino on top. Ta-da! And that is dinner tonight. And look at that. Delicious. We haven't had, like I said, this dish in ages. But that's dinner tonight.